One of the few benefits of these non-stop disruptions to our Canadian streets over the past couple of years is that many Canadians, including myself, have now been out and documented exactly how these pro-Palestinian protesters are allowed to act in our streets and act towards police. We have documentation from disturbance after disturbance after disturbance. These people are allowed to roll out fake body bags onto our street. They're allowed to put fake blood on their hands. They're allowed to yell vile slogans through loudspeakers on our street. They are allowed to approach people in an incredibly aggressive manner. They are allowed to wear masks where you can only see the slits of their eyes. They are allowed to wear and wave Hamas flags. We have seen this and documented time after time after time. So I've now made 2 requests to set up rallies on Parliament Hill, second and final weekend of September. And we can definitively say once and for all whether or not this is a 2-tiered police state. How much do you want to bet that the Canadian government, even with these requests, haven't heard back yet, says we're not allowing you to set up your protest? Because I think the likelihood is pretty damn high. You have to let them know what you're protested about. I would bet you anything, the likelihood is pretty damn high. And when we get out on the streets and when we start rallying, I would be willing to bet my life they're going to treat us, longtime Canadians who just want to look out for the best for their families, the best for this country, who actually give a damn about this country. And like Mark Carney and the Liberals, they'll try to shut us down and will not tolerate 1/10 of the behavior that they do at these pro-Palestinian rallies. But we have to do absolutely everything we can, and we have to get out and document that and let the Canadian people know exactly what's happening on our streets and how far Canada has fallen into a 2-tier police state, and keep blasting our message out, because certainly you're not going to hear a goddamn peep about 2-tier policing on CBC, CTV, or anywhere else. Whenever I see their coverage of these protests that we're seeing on a daily basis, I am shocked at how they clip the footage to make it look as though they're incredibly peaceful. They never show anything vile. They never show the fake body bags out on our streets. They never show the bloody hands and fake blood everywhere. It's like you're at a Halloween dress-up concert, the worst Halloween dress-up party that you've ever seen in your entire life. But the only thing that we can do as Canadians is try to get out on the streets. We know we're going to be treated incredibly poorly, but document it so the Canadian people are aware of the fact that our Liberal government, headed up by Mark Carney, are acting in authoritarian ways. They are stifling dissension. I'm going to keep you posted. If they don't approve the request for rallies within the next couple of weeks, they should be getting back to me within 5 or 6 days, because I know there's a hell of a lot more of us than there are of them. There are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of patriotic Canadians who want to get out and make their voices heard and say hell no to what's been going on our streets. Hell no to another million immigrants being allowed into this country in 2025. 75% of Canadians say we have too many immigrants in the country. Yet Mark Carney and the Liberals continue to say, 8 million have been in the past decade. Our GDP is down the tubes. Violent crime is up 30%. Crimes against women up 60%. Petty crime up 80%. All tied to immigration. Our housing market is in absolute crisis. They're going to try and shut us down. But I know there are tens of thousands of Canadians who stand up against this tyranny. And the only way that we're going to definitively know that this government does not allow patriotic Canadians to march on our own goddamn streets like they allow these Hamas supporters to march down our streets every goddamn day, is if we actually make the effort to get out and do that. If there's one thing I'll give them credit for, it's they do get out and they do protest. Now, it's obviously much easier when you have the government support that they have versus us. I'm sure they'll try to label us as far-right extremists or whatever junk they can come up with. But we need to make the effort to get out on the streets. If you're interested in more information on the rallies that I'm setting up, hit the link in my bio, donate, grab some gear. Updates are coming soon. Like I said, I'm aiming for the first rally, second week of September. Second rally last week of September. We have to physically get out on the streets, because otherwise they have made it incredibly clear the government could give 2 damns about public opinion polling or what the Canadian people actually think, whether it comes to immigration, ESG policies, free speech, Canadian values. So it's time for patriotic Canadians to actually physically be on the streets and make our voices heard.